Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Vinland Saga episode 1. So I'm very excited to get into this. About a year and a half ago, I did reactions to the openings and the endings. I don't really remember much of them. Just, I know the main character, his name is Thorfinn, right? And from the openings, I remember these like Valkyrie characters with the long, almost pure white blonde hair. That's pretty much all I remember from those. I don't know if any of that will spoil anything, but I'm hoping not. All I know about this story is that it's about Vikings and there's this like main character, and I think it's kind of like about war, just war in general, that kind of thing. I am going to attempt to do 2 episodes a week. That way, by the time I finish, I would have fully caught up with season 2, which is starting to release right now. If season 2 is the same length as season 1, then I'll catch up right on the last episode. So before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon page. Over there you can find 1 week early access. You can also find polls so you can vote for what's next. And you can find a full-length timer-based version of this where you can sync up your own footage and watch along with me. Oh wow, love the color. Is it a dream sequence? Yeah. So he actually just wants to be with Helga, but is here in battling. Oh wow. This perspective work is really cool as well. Hey, yeah, obviously great fighter. Look at the accuracy on those arrows too. He just looks so indifferent to all of it too. The look on his face, yeah. Look. Oh, he barely reacted to that. Oh, did he swim away from the fight? Was that him like dropping the weapon there? As in giving up battling? Or he just left because he's won. Okay, it's been a while since I've heard this. Oh, just heard survival of the fittest in there, so there's some English in there thrown in. Is that I've sold my soul? What is left for me? Is that his son, or is he just like a father figure? Yeah, they just live a simple life, farmers trying to get by. Look how buff that cow was though. It's hench. Oh, longing to escape, longing for adventure. What's beyond the horizon, past the sea? Oh, and he hears the stories of the adventures as well, yeah. Oh, it's got chills, that's great. Vinland, yeah. So is it trying to get there?
It's Leif Erikson.
Oh, okay, so it's America? Did he actually earn that? Earn the respect, or did he just steal it? Yeah, it's all bullshitting. As far as I'm aware, it's quite a realistic show. Like, there aren't dragons and stuff in the sea actually, are there? But maybe I'm wrong, maybe there is some more magical things. Oh. Escaped slave?
いずれ誰も越せぬような冬が来るかもしれん。わしの国では
今弟が移住の計画を
So they're all going to move to Vinland?
往復してきたさ。
Or they're planning to. Maybe they won't make it. It seems like the saga is to get there. Oh, okay. So there. Oh, is this just in his head? Yeah. This is just a little dream he's having, isn't it? Yeah, look at the outlines changing. It's stylistically a bit different.
気にしなくていいのよ。心配事は大人の仕事の。
I love her hair.
ああ、もう。ねえ、父上。どうしてうちは奴隷を買わないの？
What happened to that slave we saw walking earlier?
したなんか。
ゆるぞ。
Did that guy get buried under here?
どうして僕らはそうまでしてこんな北の島
Yeah, it seems like they went through all of that just to live here. This really treacherous place. But is that just because Fours wants to be isolated because he's got this past of being a great warrior? Is worried people will come after him? He's trying to repent for that maybe and be a good person here.
この村の人じゃないわね。かわいそうに。どうしてあんな吹雪の中を。どうしてって。
Yeah, where did he come from?
褒め事になるよ。
I mean, you could just, if the slave owner comes along, you could say we were just protecting your property.
そして人々に迫った。王に服従するか。
Oh, okay. They didn't compromise, they chose to leave.
聞いてよレイフのおっちゃんが
He's still going, really trying. How long has he been giving him CPR for?
おい、あんた、名を言えるか。
I do wonder as well, like, how long has CPR been like a known thing to do? Because a lot of people would see that as bringing someone back from the dead, you know?
通るぜ。来てくれ。ハーフ団が港に。連中、また何か難癖つけに来たんだ。
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it seems Fours is going to protect the slave then.
小僧、てめえは見覚えがあるぜ。あの喧嘩でてめえには左腕を切られた。
Oh, wow.
しこそ、よくも兄貴の足を切り落としやがったな。量産か。あれ。
Yeah, there's already tension here. Maybe Fours will actually do the diplomatic thing and give the slave back for the protection of the people. But then, like, Thorfinn and the rest of the family might not like it. Ooh! Oh my god, the chunks of flesh in there. That's just like a regular chain as well, it's not like barbed or anything. Oh, wow, yeah. Sees them as his family.
遥かな西海の向こうにヴィンランドという名の
The start of that sound, it sounds like one of the a classical song.
返してもらおう。
父上
おいで、トルフィン。
Yeah, I mean he hasn't done anything wrong technically yet.
ハーフ団この男いくらで買った
Oh, he's gonna buy him off him.
他の奴隷の前で見せしめに拷問せにゃなら。
Yeah, Halfdan doesn't. Yeah, wants to make an example. Oh wow, look how imposing he is.
愛といえば。
だそうすべて3歳以下のメスでな
Yeah, it's extortionate, but it just shows how much he values human life.
姉上悲しいの
悲しいわよ。羊8頭もしたのにあっという間に死んじゃったのよ。
And he died anyway. Wow, yeah.
僕らも逃げてきたのレイフのおっちゃんがご先祖様は
Yeah, so Fours kind of sees himself a bit in that slave.
ここからも逃げたい人はどこに行くの
To Vinland. Look at this with the northern lights as well. Oh yeah. Okay, some secret hidden away in that chest. His swords from before, yeah. Okay, so that was Vinland Saga episode 1. The episode actually went much better than I thought it would. I was expecting there to be some sort of inciting incident here that would propel Thorfinn on his journey, but we haven't quite had that devastation and disaster just yet. It's given us a bit more time with the family and everything. You know, we see in the opening, Thorfinn is this like innocent young boy, and then he gets older and looks like more bitter and out for vengeance. So I'm expecting something to happen here. I thought maybe Halfdan would attack Thors, they'd both get in a fight, and maybe Thors would die, and then Thorfinn would have to get revenge against Halfdan. But I feel like if that was the case, that would be too quick a revenge. It needs to be something grander. It does seem like they're setting up King Harold to maybe be the main villain, or there was a bit of foreshadowing with that guy who has a bit more of like a square face. I didn't get a name for him, but maybe he could be a villain as well. And from the openings, it looks like Thorfinn gets maybe some training from Thorkel, who was in that opening montage with that big grand action scene at the start. So I am expecting there to be some inciting incident. This episode was quite calm comparatively. There was still tension there because I was expecting the inciting incident, but it didn't actually happen this episode. I did really love the ending there with the gorgeous northern lights and them talking about Vinland, going to Vinland. And it seems Vinland is the Americas. I wasn't quite sure, you know, I thought maybe it could have been Finland and been like a translation thing, or how the language has adapted throughout the years. But it looked like it was America, and they'd found like some Native Americans there, although that whole story could have been a lie. I do wonder as well, is Thorkel related to Thors and Thorfinn? I'm assuming Thorfinn, his name is derived from Thors, like Finn means son or something, so it's son of Thors. But what about Thorkel? Does that mean anything? Are they related somehow, or were they just on the battlefield together and just happen to have a similar name? I'm not quite sure there, because Thorkel did mention his younger brother at one point, and you know, if they were related, he would have said our younger brother or something, and this, you know, they could be cousins or something along those lines. Of course, Thorfinn, it seems like he is kind of yearning for adventure, yearning to escape. He's still young, you know, he's discovering why they are in their land at the moment, the history with King Harald. But it does make me think, at some points, is he starting to question the judgment of Thors? Like the question to escape here. Obviously, it seems like Thors just fled to keep his family safe. You know, that's a very logical reason, but maybe Thorfinn doesn't quite respect that. You know, he doesn't quite understand yet, and maybe he sees that as a little bit weak and thinks maybe we should have fought back. But he did seem to respect the decision with the slave. It didn't seem like he questioned that much. I thought like he might have questioned that, oh, why didn't you just fight Halfdan and keep the slave, you know? But it seems like Thors, he kind of has those days set behind him, but there is that little bit of foreshadowing zooming in on the chest there at the end that had his swords in. There's kind of a Chekhov's gun or Chekhov's sword. So I'm imagining something else will happen and the little town will be attacked. Halfdan will return for some reason, or something will happen. I love how just like intimidating and imposing Thors was, and Thorkel as well was even huger. But there's that moment where Thors, he stands up and Halfdan is there and he's just so imposing just in the frame. They clearly like exaggerated just to make him even more intimidating there, because in the next shot there's not quite the same height difference, but you know, artistic expression, it makes the moment much better and intimidating. I know I talked about there not being an inciting incident this episode, but I actually kind of appreciated that. I appreciate the pacing here. They're not rushing into things, they're giving us a bit of time to breathe, because it feels like everyone watching this, you kind of know there is going to be something eventually, but it builds up that dread a bit more and not happening in the first episode like in most anime. Animation wise, I thought this episode was gorgeous on the most part, especially those big moments with the grand sweeping vistas, the way the lighting comes through. You know, we had those god beams when they were showing that they had found Vinland, and then there's a few dream sequences in here that look great as well. There is some CG like with the water and a few shots of Thors when he was fighting. I think the water looks better when it's kind of more choppy and you kind of had the whites of the water at the peaks. I think that blended the CGI in a little better than when the sea was kind of smoother, you know. But we also see the first shot of the show, it's like this thing of wheat or something, and it looks like what it is a painting, and then there's been like a displacement put on it to make it look like it's waving through. You can kind of see how it's shifting. That's a really cool effect, because at first I thought it was like a 3D model of that, but I think it was a painting that they had just put something on it to make it like wobble, so it looked like it was moving in the wind. And you can see a little bit of a stylistic change in between a few dream sequences and things, you know, especially Thorfinn's dream where he is going against that dragon. I can't remember what he called it, but you know, you can see the thicker outlines which you get in some other witch shows like in Attack on Titan. So you can see, you know, that looked a bit more childlike because it was in a child's imagination. So I wonder if we will get more stylistic changes like that, or if the show is mainly when Thorfinn is older, maybe we won't get as much as that. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. And if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date for all the future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.